I should start off by saying that this is going to be a monumental flood. At some levels, at some places, the level of Mississippi would be at 1927 levels. At Vicksburg, the river will crest at the level above 1927. There's a factor there that the levee broke north of Vicksburg 1927, which affects that, but these are going to be historic levels of flooding. Fortunately, there have been improvements in the levee system, and there are some areas that are not likely to flood that flooded in 1973, even though there was a considerably lower level of water in the South Delta. We appreciate the help we're getting from the federal government. Our FEMA coordinating officer is here with us, Terry Quarles, and we appreciate him and his team who are working not only on the flood but are also working on the tornado relief. We appreciate that. We appreciate the Corps who are meeting with us and participating in what we're doing. We do have flooding in some parts of Tunica County from the Mississippi. We anticipate there will be flooding in every county on the river to one degree or another. Additionally, there has been some flooding associated with the Arcabutla Reservoir and the Coldwater River, particularly in Quitman County. These smaller floods, while they're very troublesome and harmful to the people involved, do tend to be limited in size. The town of Marks and some of the other areas around the Coldwater have been affected. We hope that's behind us because this was largely caused by rainwater and not by the rise in the Mississippi. As far as the rise of the Mississippi is concerned, the worst flooding in the state is going to be in the South Delta. It'll be in Warren County, Issaquena, Sharkey, Yazoo, Humphreys, and Washington, in addition to the river counties. The Yazoo is will have backwater flooding. The Corps estimates that the backwater levee, the Yazoo backwater levee, will be topped. They're working to be sure that when it is topped that there is no breach, there is no break in the levee. But if the water goes to the anticipated level of 107 feet, then the likelihood is at one point that it could go to 108.3 and have a 1 foot and 3/10 that would go over the backwater levee west of the Steel Bayou Gate and a few miles, for a few mile area. East of that and further north in the unprotected area that is east of the Will Whittington drainage canal, there will be water level of about 107 according to the Corps and the National Weather Service's best estimate. And at 107 there's a tremendous amount that goes underwater between the bluff where the delta begins, west of the Satartia Ring Levee, and all the way deep into Humphreys County. So that would be virtually all of Yazoo County between the Yazoo River and the Will Whittington Drainage Canal, and on further north almost to Belzona, some areas around and north of Silver City, but probably not Silver City itself, and on almost into Holmes County. In fact, there could be some flooding in southwest Holmes County. West of the Will Whittington, we think the elevation is likely to be 95 feet because of the protection of the Yazoo backwater levee. So you will get some topping there, and water could go close to Cary, close to Rolling Fork, close to Myersville, but not likely to get flooding of those towns proper. The same thing would be true of the town of Holly Bluff. Water around it, but not likely to be flooding. Now remember, these are the best estimates that are being made by the Weather Service and the Corps of Engineers, but they're estimates. And so people need to take this very seriously. Obviously, if your home or your business or some property that you own is in these areas, you need to find out as quickly as you can whether the elevation of your property is 107 feet or below if you're east of the Will Whittington Canal, or 95 feet or below if you're west of it, and north of the Yazoo backwater levee, because there's a real threat that you're going to flood. If you are in an area where you had water in 2008 and you're east of the Will Whittington, you're going to probably have another 8 feet of water, 7 to 8 feet of water, and you're going to need to base on that whether you will need to remove as much of your property as can be removed, protect what you can't remove to the best you can, tie down things that could float off and do damage, and then evacuate. Please don't wait until the crest on May the 18th or 20th, because even though the river may not have crested, the road that you would use may be underwater. Some roads will go underwater before the crest. Some property will go underwater before the crest. Additionally, and importantly, there are roads and highways that are elevated above the terrain around them. This is very common in the Delta, that highways, particularly major highways, are elevated up on what almost look like levees. So when you see, as you may in a few days, maps that show total areas underwater, those maps may not, and today, if you were to see one of the maps we're working with, would not take into account the elevation of the road. So I say that because there will be sections of major highways that will go underwater. But there are going to be other sections where everything around the highway is underwater, but the highway itself is elevated up enough that you will continue to be able to drive on it.